What is going on? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day so far. The transfer portal is like in full effect right now. It just opened today officially. Lots more guys are jumping in. You see a lot of more players in general jumping in at all different positions from all different schools, even some schools that are still in the college football playoffs, just like one we're about to talk about. And Missouri seems to be one of the schools that is in on a few of these guys. One in particular that I want to talk about right here. I think Missouri may have their quarterback for the 2026 season locked up, locked in. Seems like it's happening. So we'll get it straight into that right now. So if you watched Ole Miss earlier in the season, you might know of Austin Simmons. Or if you followed Ole Miss in these last few years, you might have heard of Austin Simmons. This is the kid who pretty much graduated before he even came into college. That was a big story in his recruitment. He was originally committed to Florida, I believe, flipped to Ole Miss after Lane Kiffin and staff made a pretty strong push to get him. And he was supposed to be kind of the next big thing after Jackson Dart over in Oxford. And then the whole Trinidad Chambliss thing happened. Austin Simmons started the first 3 to 4 games of the year, went down with an injury. Trinidad came in, and it kind of became a situation where it was impossible not to give it to Trinidad. And it was nothing to do with Austin Simmons getting benched because he was a bad player. That had nothing to do with it. Now, Austin Simmons, he's a young quarterback. He's a very young quarterback. And at the beginning of the season for Ole Miss, you did see some shakiness, like when they played Kentucky. He didn't look the absolute best. There were some turnover issues, which I think could be fixed, and I think we're gonna be fixed. I think it was more just jitters because he's still super young. I think he also graduated high school early and got enrolled in college like a year early, so he is younger than most guys in his class. Let me see if I can find his age right here. Well, I thought it had his age, but it doesn't. But anyways, he entered the transfer portal today, and Ole Miss, they're still in the college football playoff, so he will be finishing the year with Ole Miss. So if Trinidad goes down, be on the lookout for that because you might see your future quarterback start playing for the Rebels again in the college football playoffs. Who knows? We've seen crazy things happen. But anyway, he entered the transfer portal like an hour ago or 30 minutes ago with a no contact clause, meaning he don't want to be contacted by any teams because when you enter the transfer portal, any team is able to contact you and try and recruit you. So Austin Simmons entered with a no contact clause. Missouri is the only team to watch in this recruitment. So if he does stay in the transfer portal and doesn't decide to go back to Ole Miss, it's going to be Missouri. Like he's going to land at Missouri. That's basically what it seems like right now. Now, my question is Trinidad Chambliss over at Ole Miss. There are some questions whether he's going to have an extra year of eligibility. Because as of right now, he's out of eligibility. He did submit a request to get that extra year so he can come back and play next year. And there's also rumors that if Trinidad does get that extra year, he might be headed to LSU to follow Lane Kiffin. Although right now, it's kind of hard to see him leaving, being they're on such a roll and on such a run right now. But it does intrigue me a little bit. If Trinidad either one transfers or two gets that extra year or gets denied for the extra year, what does Austin Simmons do then? Does Austin Simmons go back to Ole Miss or does he still come and play for Missouri? I believe he's a total lock for Missouri. That's my opinion based off of what I'm hearing and seeing. I think Austin Simmons will be your next quarterback next year. Now, there may be some people that would like to see Matt Zollers play. Matt Zollers came in for Bo Perbula, and you saw some upside there. Yeah, it wasn't very fluid, wasn't very smooth. Yeah, you could tell he's very young and inexperienced when he did play. However, like I said, there is some upside there, and you can see it. I don't think many people were fully impressed with him, but at the same time, I think some were. I think some were impressed off of the flashes that you saw every now and then, outside of the mistakes, and impressed by the potential that you see outside of the mistakes. Now, Matt Zollers, he's super young. He's a freshman. Austin Simmons, by the way, will have 2 years of eligibility. So, Austin Simmons is also a guy who sat behind Lane Kiffin for a few years. That alone will help your development massively. He sat behind Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss, helped, which helped develop him into whatever he is right now. And then he sat behind Jackson Dart for 2 years, I believe. I think he sat behind Jackson Dart for 2 years. maybe 1 year. Then he sat behind Trinidad Chambliss the second half of this season and apparently learned a lot from Trinidad. That's what you hear and that's what you see. You constantly saw him communicating. Austin Simmons really took it on the chin when he never got to return back to the field. He was a true player about it. They say one thing about Austin Simmons I can say is I hear he's a class act. Everybody says they love the attitude. He has the greatest attitude. He's a good guy. And ultimately, I think he's going to be a very good player. Now, will Matt Zollers take the back seat for 2 years while Austin Simmons is in Missouri? Will Matt Zollers take that back seat and maybe learn from a guy who's been able to learn under Lane Kiffin, been able to learn under Charlie Weiss, been able to learn under Jackson Dart and Trinidad Chambliss? And maybe Matt Zollers can take a piece out of Austin Simmons' playbook because Austin Simmons obviously has a lot of pieces out of those quarterbacks' playbook. Very interesting. Very interesting because if Matt Zollers did enter the transfer portal, there's going to be a little bit of a market for him. I don't think it's going to be too massive. If I'm Matt Zollers, I think I'm staying in Missouri. I'm letting drink. I'm letting Eli Drinkwitz do what he's going to do. I'm learning as much as I can behind Austin Simmons while he's in. That's what I would hope Matt Zollers does. If you're a Missouri fan and you're hoping for Matt Zollers to at least stay around, don't think he's going to be starting next year, but that's not to say he's not the quarterback of the future because I still think he could be. Who knows? It's so you just never know. You never know at the quarterback position. Matt Zollers can grow massively as a football player, sitting behind and developing behind Austin Simmons. So that's future concerns. But right now, seems like Austin Simmons will be in Missouri, and I think it's gonna be good. I think it's a very good move. I like the fit. I really like the fit. Austin Simmons, he's a lefty. He's a big body lefty quarterback, 6'4", 215. And like I said, he's so young. He's so young. I still think he's going to develop very well. I still think you'll see a lot of potential out of him. I I think it's a good move for Missouri. I think this is a very good move for Missouri because in a quarterback heavy market, there's really not many guys out there that were on Missouri's radar, especially after you lost Bo Perbula as well, which some people may like, some people may not like. I don't know. But anyways, I think Austin Simmons would be a great pickup for Missouri and seems like it's happening. So if you're a Missouri fan, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of Austin Simmons. Let me know what you think about this quarterback move in general. So lots more content coming. Gonna try and cover some more Missouri content. I don't know why my camera keeps freezing. I'm sorry. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, I really appreciate if you can drop a like or subscribe on the video. That's working now. I hope that's working now. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video, I greatly appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. If you I'm gonna be posting a lot of content referring to the transfer portal, so stay tuned for that and hope you guys have a good one. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.